Welcome back to Stand With Us. I'm Roz Rothstein, and we're here with the most extraordinary woman, Kay Wilson, who is a survivor of terrorism, and she's in the middle of telling her story about how, after her friend was macheted to death, that the perpetrators thought she was gone, dead, because you were silent and just laid there, I guess. Yeah. On purpose, kind of, and then walked a mile in this condition. So tell us about that.
So I realize I have, I'm dying. I mean, I didn't for 1 minute expect to survive, let alone be sitting here today. So I try to get up. I get up, and for like L'Shem Shemaim, you know, for the greater cause, I assess I have about 10 minutes left to live. And I wanted to get back to the national trail and die on the trail so the police could find my body. So I managed to get up with all these terrible injuries, and I turned my back on my friend. She's going to be dead. I mean, I wanted to hug her, but I was bound. I wanted to pray with her, but I couldn't because I was gagged. And I start, pace after pace, walking through the forest. And I, you know, trying to come to terms with that I'm going to be dead in a minute. But in order to reach my goal and not think about Christine, I mean, I'm thinking about people I love, and then I'm making a jazz arrangement to Over the Rainbow, all the chords, and pace by pace, I managed to orientate myself and get myself back to where I'd parked the car. The couple of Israeli families there, they called the ambulance and the police and the army helicopter, and I got taken to the hospital, and Christine's body was found a few hours later.
Wow. So, okay, wait a second. Elaborate a little bit. Do you remember when the Israelis that were there picnicking, when they saw you, what was that like? Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, no, I remember everything. First of all, I was walking, like I had my hands behind my back, and the sun was blinding them. It was behind me. So I actually, and it was quite late in the day, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. And I only looked like a silhouette, you know, so I was getting very close to the table before they realized what was happening. And then all hell breaks loose. They're throwing the kids in the car, and one of the men is saying, where are the terrorists? And I'm saying in Hebrew and English, they murdered my friend. I want my dog. I want my friend. And then it's almost like, I mean, I didn't lose consciousness ever, but I wanted to just be quiet and say goodbye to the world I loved. And I couldn't. There was so much chaos going on. So the ambulance came. And by the way, I found out later, skipping a little chronologically speaking, but I'd stabbed him lightly. And I didn't know, but I'd stabbed him on an artery. When they thought they'd murdered us both, they've walked away and they're smoking a cigarette. They're on a rock a few feet away. I didn't know they were still there. They didn't know I was alive. Thank God I got up and went another way. And I've already got back to the picnic table. They hear the army helicopter. They panic. They get up. The guy's lost blood. He trips over and he breaks a leg.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible. And then yeah. So basically he
can't run away so fast.
He can't run away. So it's a very slow process. And of course the Shin Bet, the Secret Service, and the police, who did a remarkable job. Wow. Remarkable job.
So they got them.
They caught them.
They got them right away?
They got them within 36 hours, and they got a 13-man terror cell, who were also implicated in the murder of Netta Blatz-Sorek, which happened 10 months previously. So Netta was murdered by the same people who murdered Christine.
Wow.
And there were all kinds of misinformation about Netta in the press. Maybe she killed herself. Look, there was misinformation in the tabloid Israeli press about me, and in the international press. We were Christian tourists. I didn't know what I was talking about. So there was indeed like tikkun olam and redemption.
Wow. So all the chaos, and then you arrive at the hospital. What do you remember?
Remember everything. I mean, how long have we got?
Transfusing you?
I mean,
you lost so much blood.
No, I lost a lot of blood, and I mean, I remember everything, or how do you say, orally, with the sound. I mean, I see the visuals too, but I'm in Hadassah Ein Kerem, Jerusalem, which is a hospital of coexistence. I remember going into that operating theatre immediately. And the last words I hear is Dr. Shapiro is standing on one side. He reaches across me. And the last words I hear in Hebrew is to his colleague. And he says, Muhammad, give me the knife. It was an Arab, Israeli, Muslim surgeon who saved my life.
Wow.
You know, it was an Arab. And so after that, I'm interviewed by the Secret Service, by the police. And as I said, Christine's body is located. I signed the Secrecy Act. I'm not allowed to say that the terrorists have been caught because the police will work on a much wider terror cell. And after 6 weeks of a media blackout in Israel, suddenly it's like I see my face all over the internet. I'm in Google, I'm in Wikipedia, which was a terrible loss of anonymity, as well as the loss of so much more.
So what an incredible, incredible story we just heard, and I know you must be moved as I am here. And it's hard to let us end this show, so we won't. What we'll do is we're going to come back. We're going to do a second show with Kay Wilson, and so it'll be part 2, and you'll be able to hear how she has been coping over the last 4 years since this terrorist attack, since losing her friend, and you know, her music and her cartooning and all the things that she's doing to be able to survive. Thank you, Kay Wilson, for being with us, and we'll do part 2, so you'll be back and join us then. Thank you for joining us today. See you next time on JLTV.